Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Amicable Divorce Discussion. I am joined today by Amicable Divorce member Kristin Lis, who is a New Jersey family law attorney, and she is going to be talking to us today about a very interesting and unique problem that is going on in the state of New Jersey, which is the New Jersey judicial vacancy crisis. And so I want to make sure that I'm saying that properly. But from what she and I were talking about, it seems like getting things settled out of court might be the way to go in New Jersey. So welcome, Kristin. Thank you for talking to me today.
Tracy, thank you so much for having me. This topic has really become near and dear to so many attorneys' hearts in the state of New Jersey because it is one leading reason that I recommend, on top of all the others, to get the matter resolved and keep it out of the judge's hands. Right? Earlier this year, there were 64 vacancies out of 433 trial court judgeships, with 20 more expected before the end of the year. What that means is nothing is happening. The wheels are not moving. The number actually needs to be between 25 and 30. It's at 64.
Wow.
In order for the judiciary to effectively serve the public. So we are at double and above. So many counties right now have completely stopped trials. So they have no idea when they're going to be able to begin. The butts need to be in the seats in order for that to happen. And that means that when they do start up, they're going to be handling those cases from 2021 and 2022 and then 2023. So if your case is in the works now, you may be heard in 2024 or 2025. If you're just contemplating divorce now, I can't even tell you, maybe 2025, 2026. Wow. So meanwhile, if you take the amicable route, you reach some sort of marital settlement agreement or property settlement agreement, you go to the top of the list. You get an uncontested date. You don't even need to go to court. It's 15 minutes on Zoom. The judge asks you if this is your agreement and you know, is it fair? Is it amicable? Is it a compromise by both parties? Can everybody be bound by it? And then you move on with your life.
And that's what we're all about.
Minutes as opposed to years.
Yeah, absolutely. So if somebody has what they would consider to be a contested, nasty divorce in the state of New Jersey, they need to file it right now. They think they need a court hearing. Nothing's going to happen for them for 2 to 3 years.
You might get some temporary relief on a motion. But even in some counties, the judge I spoke to last week, he had 21 motions scheduled on a Friday.
Wow.
I imagine that some of those got postponed.
Mm-hmm.
I have a motion that was filed last summer to address summer parenting time. We don't have a decision yet.
Awesome.
Filed in 2022 to address 2022 summer parenting time. That didn't happen. That the entire summer of 2023 went by. Still no decision. Wow. So it's small decisions and it's big decisions, but the key here is it's all delayed.
So we have the amicable divorce process. Kristin's helping clients in New Jersey, and you can reach out to her if that's something that you are interested in getting your divorce resolved outside of court. And part of that process is that if the two parties have a difference, they agree to go to mediation. And how does mediation work in New Jersey?
Mediation, you would choose specifically maybe an attorney on the court approved list. That's called a Rule 1:40 economic mediator. The deal there is once your divorce is filed and you want to go to that mediator, the first 2 hours of that are absolutely free.
Oh, wow.
And thereafter, the litigants would just pay the regular mediator's rate. Prior to the divorce being filed, you could find a private mediator, and those can be conducted either in person or virtual, depending on the mediator. And some people opt to proceed to mediation without their attorneys present. Others choose to have their attorneys with them every step of the way. But an agreement reached in mediation is not going to be put through until you've had an opportunity to have that reviewed by an attorney first. Okay. So even if you're on the fence and you're not necessarily sure, you can say, hey, mediator, time out. I want to go talk to an attorney, make sure I'm not, giving away the farm here. Mm-hmm. And then within, a week or so, get back and say, yes, I agree to this, or no, I just want to tweak this one thing. Once that agreement is reduced to a marital settlement agreement, you can attach it to your final judgment of divorce. You can even, with your ex, agreed to expedite the divorce by waiving the 35 days to respond. So there is a nice streamlined process. The court likes to actually reward those people who work together. They're firm believers that the agreement you reach between each other, you're far more likely to uphold. You're far more likely to be satisfied than whatever they decide. They're never going to know.
Absolutely. I always tell clients, it's like a stranger judge to your family making the most important decisions that there are. I have clients that are often skeptical, like, well, I don't get along with my spouse, so how can I be amicable, or how could we ever reach an agreement in mediation? I'll just tell everybody, give it a shot. You need to in New Jersey. You don't really have any other choice. And you would be very surprised how successful mediation can be. And you can do that on Zoom. There's lots of options to get that done for you so that it's not an imposition and is convenient to everybody to get that handled. So yeah, the judicial vacancy crisis reminds me of COVID, where there wasn't a court system. It didn't exist. I mean, it was sitting there, but only if you had uncontested matters were you getting things processed, if you reached agreements yourself, but the judge was not sitting anywhere judging anything. And we're still dealing with some week-long trials and things that have been waiting since COVID to get handled. So there's going to be a huge backlog then in New Jersey.
Right. And additionally, because, there's obviously constitutional protections for criminal litigants.
Yes.
The courts in these times of crisis have been practically forced to relocate judges that were in family and then reallocate them to criminal because of the federal and constitutional Speedy Trial Act. So we had, engaged in some hearings and some conferences with judges only to have them midway through the litigation picked up and moved to another division to have that seat then sit empty. A case I was involved in, they are now on judge number 5.
Wow.
And every single time the judge, they're very kind about it, but they say, bring me up to speed. It's really difficult to bring a judge up to speed about 3 years of litigation over the span of a 15-minute Zoom call.
Exactly. And I think one thing that's important for everybody to know is no matter how complicated your case might be, that doesn't mean you need a judge to resolve it. For example, small business valuation, stock options, high assets, narcissistic personality disorder. We hear that a lot. Any issue that you may have that you would present to a judge, there is a path to a solution outside of court. Even in that complicated case, you'd be preparing everything and you'd go to a mediation with that information, with your business valuation in hand, and try to reach a resolution. So we use those same tools, have those same professionals outside the court system, anybody that you might need to help you along the way. So sounds like in New Jersey, that's the way to go.
I really think it is. And your point is well taken, which is we have a whole toolbox of tools we can access here. We can have appraisals of property done. We can have appraisals of pension done. We can try to figure out various solutions, offsets, and mediation, and as well as the amicable divorce process is also a very nice option for people who may have a cash line of business. Maybe they're an independent contractor or a hairdresser. Anytime you may have some sort of cash income, you really don't want to have that go in front of a judge.
That's true.
They have
I also
some obligations that they need to take care of if that happens. And you can maintain a more private view of your finances as you were as a married couple if you're engaging in mediation than if you were having a public hearing on that.
Yeah, that's absolutely a great point as well. Your dirty laundry, your details, your financial information is not online, not a public record for your neighbors to be reviewing. The amicable process is entirely private, and only what needs to be filed with the court is filed at the end. And I think another point is with complicated cases, my experience when litigating was judges would just, their eyes would gloss over, like they really didn't have the time, the attention span, or the financial background for some of these complicated cases. And so sometimes the result after all of this preparation would be something very odd, simply because they don't have the time. Or, maybe they were a criminal attorney and they have no financial background whatsoever for these complex financial issues. So with the amicable process, you can really take the time, talk to the experts, get the information, really see what a good result is, as opposed to handing it over to a stranger judge. And there's none available in New Jersey anyway. So
yeah, it is, They basically are saying that for everyone that they're replacing right now, that vacancy, by the end of the year, we're probably going to have those back again. So we really are behind the 8 ball. And while some vicinages have returned and they are accepting some trials, with each vicinage that goes back to having trials, there's another one that's stopping them.
Yeah.
So as a whole across the state, whether you're in South Jersey or you're in North Jersey, or in the mythical Central Jersey, this is really a nice option and something that I'm really pleased to be able to offer our clients as well.
Well, thank you very much. If somebody facing a New Jersey family law issue, and you can use the amicable divorce process for any legal dispute in the family law arena, it is called the divorce process, but child support modification, custody modification, as long as the parties agree there is a dispute to be had, Kristin can help you resolve it outside of court, as can the Amicable Divorce Network. And Kristin, if somebody's like, oh gosh, this is me, I'm a New Jersey divorce or family law problem person, how can they reach you for help?
Easiest way to reach me is to go online, www.iheartdivorce.com.
There you go. iheartdivorce.com, and you will get right to Kristin Lis. Kristin, thank you so much for explaining this unfortunate judicial vacancy crisis in New Jersey.
Tracy, thank you again for having me today. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.